Hey folks, it's Randy Wilburn here from I Am Northwest Arkansas. I'm so excited to be with you today. I'm doing something that I kept saying I was going to do. I've done a few live shots, but finally we decided to go live, and I wanted to help out a friend of mine who I met a while back. We actually had him on the podcast, Jerrmy Gawthrop from Roots fame, but he's also a restaurateur. And so one of the first people that I went to after this pandemic started back in March was Jerrmy, to really talk with him and learn a little bit more about what they were going through. And at that time, he shared with me the news that he had planned to close shop for a while because there really wasn't much that he could do as far as everything that was happening. He has a whole bunch of employees. He had to furlough a lot of people in this process. And every week during this pandemic, I kept coming back to him and saying, Jerrmy, when are you opening up Woodstone? Jerrmy, when are you opening up Woodstone? It has this fabulous restaurant in Uptown, and they also have a downtown location. And so I wanted to bring Jerrmy on this live version of I Am Northwest Arkansas. This is a special that we're going to do. We'll also put it out as a podcast for those of you that like to throw me between your ears and hear what we have to share. But I just wanted Jerrmy to come on and talk really about the Woodstone, about this go around and what he's hoping to accomplish. And more than anything, I just want you to continue to support local restaurants. Yeah, I know you've seen me push out the hashtag Save Our Restaurants. It's really important that we continue to do that where and when possible. And I get it, because nowadays the stakes are much higher. People are unemployed. A lot of people are struggling with food insecurity issues. These are all real problems that we're all faced with. But if you're in a position where you can fundamentally help out these local restaurants, I want to encourage you to do so. My wife and I, with our three boys who eat us out of house and home, we try to go to at least one or two restaurants a week and kind of limit it at that. That's about the most that we can afford to spend right now. But the bottom line is we make it a point to get out and support our local restaurants because we need them. We need a little variety. As they say, variety adds a spice of life. So without further ado, I want to welcome Jerrmy Gawthrop from Woodstone and Roots fame to the live shot that we're doing today for I Am Northwest Arkansas. Jerrmy, how you doing, man?
Hey, Randy, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. This is my first time doing this, so I'm telling everybody to bear with me as we work through the particulars. But, man, I'm so excited to see you back in your restaurant. This is just such great news, not just for me because I love pizza. Anybody that comes from the Northeast is a pizza lover, but it's just good news in general for the economy, for businesses in Northwest Arkansas, and for you. And so I'd love for you just to kind of share. I talked a little bit about, before you came on, I talked a little bit about some of the challenges that you went through during this pandemic, but now you're back open. So what changed for you? What put you in a position where you said, you know what, we're going to make a go of this. We're going to open up the doors and see what we can do.
Yeah, I think when we closed in March, we didn't, like everybody else, know what was in front of us, and we did a little brief pop-up and opened up late spring, early summer, and quickly realized that we needed people in the seats to make this work. Relying only on curbside and delivery was very challenging. And then it got hot right in the middle of the summer, so our patios lost a little bit of their appeal. So then we were even losing the few seats that we had then. So then it became, with what gas we had left in the tank, that we needed to wait until we had the right weather, the right climate as far as the students back and the population in town, just all the factors and the stars to kind of align so that we could make a solid decision and open at the right time and not exhaust what energy we had, reserved. So we knew that late August, early September looked like a good time on the weather, the students would be back, and then just to wait and watch and see what was up. And here we are, and the weather's really good today. But we have, 50% capacity inside the dining room with incredible spacing because it's a big open room. And then we have half the seats in the patio and at the bar. So we end up sitting probably at 50% overall. And this is our fourth day being open. We've had a great response so far from the public, lots of curbside, which is a whole new beast in the restaurant industry altogether, right?
It is, yeah.
And people coming in, and we also don't need to train the public anymore about masks and distancing. So a lot of other restaurants have taken that brunt for us, being that we're a little bit later to open up. And yeah, it's just great to see our product coming out of the window. It looks great. Our staff is jazzed to be doing it. The public is excited to see us back. And yeah, it feels good to be able, get the machine in motion again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm like I said, I'm excited, and I will be over there in the next couple of days to grab me some pizza because for sure, if you guys are just watching this for the first time and are not familiar with Woodstone, some of the best pizza in all of the Ozarks, I highly encourage you to check it out. And their bone sauces and their breads, everything is really good. Everything is really fresh. One of the things I did want to ask you, because I mean, you had a lot of time on your hands. I know you have a family like I do, and so you spend a lot of time with them throughout this season. Did you come up with any new recipes that you're going to be unveiling in this go around of Woodstone by any chance?
Well, yeah, that's it's a loaded question, Randy. But yeah, for sure. I would say that staying at home, we did lots of cooking, of course, like everybody else.
Right.
And there's a lot of trial and error and experimentation. And then on the day in and day out, you kind of just go to your old faithfuls,
Right.
which reminds you the way you eat and your origin story of cooking and food. And some of those things that came back, it's like, man, this is a great sauce. This is a great way to do something. So some of the things that might appear in the future menus, are going with the trend nationwide, which is comfortable food, simple food, fresh foods. That's what's working, and I can see why. And that's that people like, filter right now at home. I wasn't at home getting like fancy in the plating while the 4-year-old's yelling at me because they're hungry.
No,
more like quick.
Just get it
quick
on a paper plate. Here you go.
Yeah, just throw it all in the oven and make it pop out at the same time. My partner told me that he ate potatoes and onions for weeks on end because it was just simple and everybody ate it. That's kind of how I feel too. Just like, what can we do? So yeah, there's definitely some stuff changing, and not that we'll totally get into it today, but what we might be planning for the South Side, there might be some new menu items and approach down there as well.
Okay, good. And I'm glad you mentioned that. So the South Side hasn't opened up yet, but the Uptown location has. What is the timetable for the South Side location?
Currently, it's going to be continuing with what it's been doing with the hunger relief initiatives that we've been working with. And we had both locations and both kitchens doing that. But now opening this one, we need to fuse the two programs and just have one kind of central kitchen that's pumping the food out for those initiatives.
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, obviously we'll need to do some additional things there to keep it alive. But ultimately right now, we got all the eggs in this basket Uptown.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a great segue for me because, one thing I want people to hear very clearly is that you just didn't sit idly by when you closed up your shop. You made your kitchen available to several local chefs and others that were feeding people that really needed food. I talked a little bit about food insecurity earlier and how magnified the issue has become since we're going through this pandemic. And I would love for you to talk just a little bit about a program that I was made aware of a couple of weeks ago. I just had them featured on the podcast last week. I think it was episode 84 of the I Am Northwest Arkansas podcast. The program is called Get Shift Done. I said shift, SHIFT. And I would love for you just to talk just briefly about that and what that's meant for your program there.
In particular, the Get Shift Done, has been that's kind of been a game changer and so unique of a program. So when we started right out of March, the kitchens pretty much didn't go idle right out of the gates. We kept making food and doing pizzas for the Roots Fest meals for musicians. But in that initiative, Roots Fest was having to, in partnership with Woodstone, cover a lot of the labor and keep the machine moving. And while we weren't going to stop, it made it a more expensive endeavor, and all of our donations went towards, staff and food, labor. So as food donations came in, this dream of like, how do we cover labor? Because these were a lot of employees of ours that were furloughed or unemployed at this point, and they were looking for something to do, especially something that was like heart forward and helping the community, right?
Yeah.
So Get Shift Done was approached to us, and we were going to be part of the pilot program. And with that in mind, it's from North Texas, I believe, is the origin of it. Yeah. And their initiative was, like you probably found out in the interview, was to find displaced hospitality workers and get them activated in places that are needing specifically kitchen and front of house and hospitality minded and trained people to jump into the soup kitchens, to the pantries and the super pantries to make this food a little bit more efficient in getting to people. So once I heard that, I mean, what a dream. So I could bring a bunch of my team on who know my kitchen and I know their names, and we can have this efficient kitchen model to push lots of meals out. and it's worked great. So in the end, I was able to keep them, part to full-time employed at $15 an hour through that rough time, and have people that I know in my program, which isn't always the case for everything, but we were a unique situation. And it was great, and we're still doing it at the Southside location. Still, one of the partnering members here of it, and I mean, I can't say enough good about it. It's simple to use. It's a very clear initiative, and just what a great situation for these young people that need this job.
Yeah, and that's what I told the founders of it, Patrick Brandt and Anurag Jain, that you guys, you struck gold with this at a time when people needed it, and I mean they're now in 11 cities around the country and growing. More cities are opening up every day with Get Shift Done. So I applaud what you've done, and I really want to give a quick shout out to a buddy of mine, Nate Walls from Secondhand Smoke, and Nate has used your kitchen and tremendously, and every time he's been in your kitchen, the food that he has made has gone out to a lot of people that need it, and so I really want to thank you for entrusting him and so many others with your kitchen to be able to do that, and you talk about resource sharing. I mean, you get the gold star as far as I'm concerned, so I really appreciate that.
Well, that program has helped a lot, and then I mean it's unusual, but this is all very unusual. And in the end, it was like you kind of have to. This poor word is getting abused, but pivoting is just a whole bunch of that, and it's like we've never done anything like we've done recently. Constantly, do you have to put a new filter around things to see what works? Yeah. If you can't do that, you're just going to shrivel up on the vine.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I mean, I actually love the word pivot because it means that there's a new opportunity out there, and sure, it's a reason for you to even consider it in the first place. So, well, man, Jerrmy, I really appreciate you doing this. Any quick shout out you want to give about Roots? I know you've had a couple of events, virtual events. Is there anything coming up in the near future that, just to piggyback on what we're talking about with Woodstone, that you guys are going to be doing with Roots?
Yeah, we do have some more of the street concerts in the Avenue. And last week we did one with Chef Robert Shaw from Rogers, did the food, and we had Kaya Cater come down from Montreal to play. And it was a beautiful event. And we'll have some more of those coming up. And they'll always have that culinary component. And it's just, it's live music outside with a table, and it's comfortable out. So it's really working. So stay tuned for those. And all of those concerts help this initiative, the Meals for Musicians that we're doing. So they're all quasi fundraisers and what we're up to there.
Absolutely, yeah. And you guys had even sent me an email. So these guys are always looking for volunteers, folks. So if you want to volunteer, you should figure out a way, check in with those guys and find out how you can become a part of that. I actually got an email and I wanted to volunteer, but I was out of town that specific day. So the next go around, I'll be there to help you guys out with whatever event you're doing, because I know that there's some good food that will be surrounding those events. So I will definitely do that. Any last minute things that you want to share with this audience? What's the easiest way? Can they order online at Woodstone right now?
Oh, yeah. So our hours are posted on the website, and right now we're just doing the most efficient hours we have, which is all dinners and Saturday and Sunday all day. Okay. We have a link on the website that they could order. We could smooth curbside. It's been going great, and like I was saying earlier, it's become a substantial part of the daily business model is getting food out to a car, which is a unique one. So
it is.
We've got the roots worked out, and it's going great. And that's a great way to support all the local restaurants. Is if you don't want to get in there, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I shout out to you, and thanks for always pushing the local agenda, because we all need it.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I appreciate it. Give us a quick shout out to the website address.
It's woodstonecraftpizza.com.
woodstonecraftpizza.com. There you have it, folks. Jerrmy Gawthrop, the restaurateur and owner of Woodstone Craft Pizza, as well as one of the founders of the Roots Festival. If you don't know about the Roots Festival, you got to check it out. What's the quick, is it roots.org or what is it? Roots.
We got the rootsfest.org, and then I believe there's another one now. It's Fayetteville Roots.
Fayetteville Roots. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be sure to put that up. We're going to have some quick show notes about this, and really want to encourage you guys to come out And if you do go to Woodstone, please tag us at I Am Northwest Arkansas and use the hashtag Save Our Restaurants, because we want to keep this moving forward, because the things that you're able to do for Jerrmy and his team as they continue to expand and create more offerings during this pandemic season, it's going to come back around to you, but it's also going to come around to some of your neighbors, people that may have needs that you're not even aware of. So listen, trust me when I say this, as you continue to give to others, it will be given to it'll come back to you in spades. So I just want to encourage you for that. So, but thanks so much, Jerrmy. I appreciate you having you on today.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Randy.
Okay. All right, folks, there you have it. Another episode of I Am Northwest Arkansas. It was a quick one. It was a live episode. I hope you like it. We're going to do more of these. Just testing out some new technology here. And I appreciate that Jerrmy Gawthrop gave me the time of day just to kind of share his story and share what they're doing over at Woodstone Craft Pizza. Definitely check them out. Tell them that the folks from I Am Northwest Arkansas sent you. And maybe he'll throw an extra pepperoni on there too. So it really just depends on the situation. I apologize for my son jumping into the screenshot there, but some people don't understand to stay out. But that's a whole nother story for another day. I appreciate this few minutes that you gave to me. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and we will see you soon. Remember, you can check us out at IamNorthwestArkansas.com. The podcast comes out every Monday, and we will start doing more of these live shots. If you like them, let us know what you think about them. If there's something we should change, let us know that too. And that's all I have for you today. I will see you soon. Peace.